I spent years covering my skin before I left the house. Foundation, concealer, clothing, you name it, whatever it took to make sure nobody could see my skin. And this is what I wish someone had told the younger version of myself living with vitiligo. So, as you can see, I have vitiligo and I've lived with it for a very long time, over 2 decades now. And for a large portion of that journey, I treated my skin like a problem, like something to be fixed, something to be managed, something to hide. And I want to talk about that today. Not because I have it all figured out, but because I think over the last 2 decades, I've learned a lot through my skin that might be useful to someone watching, whether you also have vitiligo, or you are living with a visible difference, or you are just someone who is handling something privately and you're hiding it and you're tired, you're ready to make peace with it and to move forward. So here is what I know now. I wish that as a child with vitiligo, someone had told me that my skin is not something to apologize for. When you have something visible that makes you stand out in a way that you never chose, you develop this habit of like managing other people's reactions and responses before they even have them, if they even have them. And you and I both know that we cannot control how other people react or respond. So for me, this looked like covering up before anyone notices, shrinking myself before anyone can make me feel small. And I did this for so many years. I was so focused on making sure other people felt comfortable and not wanting to make other people feel uncomfortable being in my presence that I forgot about my own level of comfortability. I forgot about myself in this process. So I wish someone had told me that my skin doesn't need an explanation. It doesn't need an apology. It's just part of me. It's a very beautiful part of me, a part of me that tells a story of uniqueness, resilience, strength. And the sooner I stopped treating it like something to be fixed, like a curse, something to solve and to hide, the lighter everything got for me. I also wish that as a child with vitiligo, someone had told me that hiding my skin was costing me more than showing it would ever cost me. So when I think about hiding, I think a lot of hiding is driven by protection. You want to keep yourself safe. And that's exactly why I hid my skin. I wanted to keep myself safe from judgment. And, I think that in the process of doing so and in seeking that safety, it cost me a lot of energy every single morning, every outfit decision, putting on makeup to cover it every single morning, the mental energy of preparing myself to go to an outing and bracing for strange stares or comments. But I think even more than that, it cost me real connection because I think that when you hide parts of yourself, you can't fully show up. You're always half present. Like you're half present, you're trying to manage other people's responses, and then you're also bracing for something to happen. And the connection that I was craving at that time would never be accessed in that space. So, I wish someone had told me that my skin, though it made me feel vulnerable, was not the threat. The threat was hiding. I also wish that as a little girl living with vitiligo, someone had told me that the world wouldn't end when I stopped covering it. A little backstory here. When I first was diagnosed as a child, I remember wearing long sleeves and pants, even in the hottest weather, because I didn't want other kids at school to see my skin and ask me questions. As I got older and my vitiligo spread, I would say I probably got a bit more comfortable in showing it on my arms and legs, but the moment it got to my face, like it sent me. And I remember that I would cover my spots on my face with makeup every single morning. And I had a moment where I realized that I didn't want to cover it up anymore. It just felt so exhausting, but it was really a really scary decision for me. I was convinced that something bad was going to happen if I went out without any sort of cover up. So the moment I decided that and I went into the real world as I am, I just waited for something to happen where I'd regret showing up as I am, and I'd have a reason to go back into covering it. And it just so happened that that moment didn't come, right? Life kept going, people kept going, the world kept going, and something in me just quietly settled over time. I guess the worst case scenario that I had been playing out in my head was actually a lot scarier than reality turned out to be. And the world didn't end when I stopped hiding. In fact, I think it got more expansive. I felt more settled, as I said. I felt more like myself. I felt more at peace. And the fourth thing that I wish I had known as a child growing up with vitiligo is that someone needs to see you as you actually are. And this one sits with me the most because I think somewhere out there, maybe watching this video right now, there's a girl or a boy who feels completely alone in their skin. They are covering up every morning. They are hoping nobody notices. They don't have this knowing that it can get better in time. And I think the most powerful thing that any of us can do is to show up as we actually are. We don't need to be perfectly healed. We don't need to have everything figured out. We just need to be ourselves. Because if I had seen someone living openly with their vitiligo when I was a little girl, it would have changed everything for me. It would have shown me what was possible before I had to figure it out the long way. So that's why I'm here. And I think all of these points go beyond vitiligo, to be honest. I think a lot of us are dealing with things alone and we're hiding things in shame and in fear. It could be something about our bodies, our lives, our stories that we've decided is too scary to share and embrace. And what I keep coming back to is the fact that this world does not need the version of you or of any of us that has it all together. It needs the real version of you, the one that you've been hiding and tucking away in shame and in fear. And what I've learned through my vitiligo is that the thing that you are hiding might just be one of the most powerful things about you. So I want you to drop a comment below if any of this resonated with you. And if someone in your life needs to hear this or would feel uplifted in hearing this, please send it their way. As always, I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.